Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is me, Dukect, here, live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on this very interesting Thursday evening, this Thursday night, as after SmackDown. And if you want to call in and talk about this stuff and getting in on the live show, remember the phone number here is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the number is, the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Now, well, SmackDown came and went. Big things happened. And, well, the biggest thing was the United States Championship changing hands again. From Kalisto to what was a lot of people were saying this was a lot of positive thing. It shook up the whole paradigm. It made things a little, interesting on Raw. Seeing that there was things moving, big things shaking, things moving around, doing something like that, and maybe get the lower card more interesting, the title or something like that. Something like a lower tier card, no title, and make for like guys like say the Social Outcast or Zack Ryder, Sandow, and people from NXT. Start building themselves up, stuff like that. But no. It went back to Del Rio thanks to Wade Barrett, who was King Barrett, who was not even mentioned when he was out there. Not at all mentioned until he got involved in the match. He wasn't mentioned while he was right there in the ringside cheering on Del Rio. He wasn't even mentioned. Great job, commentators. By the way, the new commentator is okay, and King's heel turn is okay, but when you're missing stuff like that, it does show you that's the problem with WWE. It's just, they're just like, it's all so prepackaged. So, no mention. It's so prepackaged. That's the problem. It is prepackaged nonsense. Another thing is nonsense, having Del Rio win the title back again. It makes no sense. Why would you have him win the title back after that huge... It got people from social media. People were like, wow, this is great. It was trending on Facebook. It was like, wow, Kalisto winning the United States Championship was great. He was saying some really good promo. I think it was a very good promo from here tonight. I thought they were finally having that new Latino breakout star. And guess what they did, WWE did? They just... They slapped it down. They slapped it down. And, basically made him a completely and utterly pointless. It made it completely pointless. They smacked that down. They smacked it down on SmackDown. Yeah, that's what they did. They made it pointless to watch the shows or anything else. Made it even more pointless. And that is the problem. It's the problem that a lot of people, it's a problem, and that's the thing of what the WWE is. When they see something positive and such, as people were talking positive about the product for quite a long while, instead they dropped it, and they kept. And I love King, kept saying it's like, oh, it was a fluke. He is the United States champion. I know heels are supposed to be illogical and such, but really? I think even Bobby Heenan would be like, yeah, the little guy is actually surprising. Let's see if he can defend the belt. Let's see. It's hard to become champion. Let's see the little guy last long on Giants, but I don't think he's going to last long. That sort of thing. Which is sad because it just shows I know it's another like, well, he's gonna win. It's like the story is. It's kind of, people say, oh, wait and see, people, wait and see, as the story is not over yet. The story isn't over yet. The story is not over yet, and they say they're gonna have to win the title back have Kalisto win the title back at the Royal Rumble, which is stupid because it destroys the moment. I mean, it destroys the moment that that it was organic. It felt like things could have happened. Big things could have happened on that show. And that right there is the main reason why people tune out on Raw. Nothing matters. Nothing matters in the WWE. Nothing matters on Raw, and definitely nothing matters on SmackDown. Because at the end of the day, the status quo is God, and they have to continue to make sure everything is stayed level. I mean, I missed the first time I watched SmackDown in, honestly, probably like 4 or 5 years. And nothing really has changed. I mean, the show looks the same as Raw. The athletes are so... It's again why the brand extension should not have ended. The brand extension should not have ended. Stuff like this reminds you why the brand extension should not have ended. Yes, I'm repeating myself right now. It should not have ended because you have this it's diluted. Everything is so diluted now with all these championships and everything that, again, when you have over 5 hours of television, it gets people really sick of, like, people are already sick of the television, people watching WWE Network, that's nice and all. That's great. I need to look at the numbers, by the way, see how many people are, the WWE Network numbers, which here it's like around, in the United States, around 800,000. I think, here it is. Let's see. It is current. This is from the current subscriber count, was from WrestleZone.com. I'll put the link in the description. It is an average of 1.173 million total subscribers. In the quarter, finished the third, this is from last year, October 29th. The quarter with 1.233 million subscribers. So, and majority, but 243,000 of them are international. So, yes, that's really is, it's just interesting right there. And here's, but here's interesting. In total time, which is in the article, if you see it's right here, and a link in the description. I might put it up there as well. It says, in total, from time the network launched into September 30th, 2015, WWE Network has brought in almost 2.3 million unique subscribers. And, well, it's been cut in half of those subscribers, because the subscribers are active as the active subscribers since the network launched, a couple years, like it was like 2014, I believe. Let's see, what's WrestleMania 30 was it 20? Yeah, it was 2014. Yes, 2014, and it was for a whole year. But that's the real problem. When half of your network subscribers is cut in half, like 2.3 million, and now it's 54% of those subscribers are active. That's a little bit worrying, because one of my things about the WWE Network is that you have you have these these lulls and such like that. But they're gunning up their higher, their fastest growing and stuff, like it's beating MLB.com, beating all these other type of subscriptions and such. The reason why is because they have off seasons, and they'll probably get the excitement back up, and probably when all their seasons start picking up and everything. But to me, one of my biggest things is people are just going to get tired of it. They're like, yeah, Table for 3 and NXT is fun, but it's getting samey. There's not much really to draw them in and keep them there. I'm sure Breaking Ground is interesting and fun, and they got the reruns of Total Divas and all this other great stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be a very niche product. I mean, wrestling fans are not in high. The wrestling fans are not in the whole bracket and such. They're not going to. They're not really big. And of course, I have people are like saying, whoa, what about what about the young kids? The little kids who watch on the internet. That's fine, but at the end of the day, right now, people say, "Oh, they're unplugging." That's good, but right now, like I say over and over again, it is a future maybe 5, maybe 10 years away. Personalized channels, you can stream and do all that type of stuff. That's maybe 5, 10 years away. Right now, because right now our internet is not as fast, not as connected. Most people don't have the same type of internet I have. The fastest type of internet I can have right now. Most people don't around the country. So that sort of thing. People seem we forget that. We forget that. We forget the fact that people people don't have that type of fast internet, and people say, "Oh, well, the kids are watching." That's nice and all, but is that going to really bring people back in? Is that people going to go to the events or watch? It's running like the same thing like Brian Alvarez said on his beginning of TLC review. Is that when you look around and see what the stars alignment and seeing how this company is, you just get the sense that WWE is not going to be fucked as WCW, but it just gets to send around and everything's going good, but eventually the bottom's going to fall out. And with these recent amount of injuries and them kneecapping Kalisto like this, which is basically what they're doing, they're kneecapping Kalisto. For basically, you have a guy who is connected with the audience, who's a young Latino star, who's probably at this point could be more over than Del Rio. At this point, I believe he is, because no one really gives a crap about Del Rio at this point. But WWE, in their infinite wisdom, said, no, we want to have this hot-shotting, making, Kalisto, just making him a daytime champion. But hey, when he wins it again, it's going to be really ultra super special. Again, it's the same principle what happened to the Divas, the whole Divas revolution. When you had Charlotte could have won the Divas title the night before Night of Champions. The crowd was happy. That could have been great in stopping Brie Bella for actually getting the championship. So, getting that championship reign, record. Beating AJ, which something the WWE loves to do and everything like that. Instead of doing that, instead of actually letting Charlotte win and have the rematch at Night of Champions, which would have been a very good idea or something like that. No, that would have been a good idea. They just delayed it so they could be like, well, we have to give them the record. We have to do all this stuff. It kneecaps them. It kneecaps the talent. It makes them completely and utterly pointless. And that it just makes their accomplishment, and you delay it, it means nothing. When the accomplishment really happens, the people are burnt out. They're like, why should I care? You're just going to erase it or something or turn the person heel, which is to me still stupid because the way we got here is, Charlotte acting heel and everything, which would have been interesting because at least at NXT, her wrestling ability and everything like that was featured in Paramount. This is just basically just like, well, she's Ric Flair's daughter. She's Ric Flair's daughter. And shoving it so far in their faces and down their gullet. Just, again, people say the Divas Revolution at some point. And I know XZ69 is going to be like, well, I know. And I don't want to piss people off, but this is why I feel. I feel like the Divas Revolution was probably one of the most pointless and just one of the most pointless things the WWE has done, pointless revolutions the WWE has ever done. You don't have a hashtag. You don't hashtag revolutions. You act upon them. NXT didn't do a gosh dang on hashtag. They made their ladies and performed by they made them important by how their actions were. They made the wrestlers down there, male and female, they made their actions matter. They made their characters matter. It made to have connections to the audience. But this is a WWE main roster. Who connects to the audience? Ambrose? Right now, Roman Reigns for the most part. But then again, that's helped by the old evil boss storylines thing. And that's, when that thing is going to go out the wayside, that's going to, we're going to probably be right back to square one. Let's see, Kevin Owens. And see, Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, even though the WWE squandered him for countless times. And John Cena and Randy Orton and such, they do have connections to the crowd. And Kalisto was starting to have that. Kalisto, I feel, was starting to build that bridge. But WWE doesn't let them have it. Sure, people say, about the social outcasts. Yeah, that's fine, but where are they going to be 5-6 months from now? And I know people will say, well, about New Day. The New Day, and I still love them. I don't care how many people are bashing them now. I want the New Day to continue to grow and such. But it just seems that, again, when you look at their table for three, it was basically it was like, we're not going to do anything. Let them be themselves. It wasn't all this stuff. That gave them over. Same thing with Roman Reigns. Let him be that Samoan, that angry Samoan that kills people when he was in the Shield. That got him over. That got him a connection to the crowd with TLC and continuing on. And hopefully he'll get that connection. And I'm hopeful that Kalisto, being so fast, young, and doing things that people will want to see, those moves, that moveset, that excitement of Kalisto. Heck, the Salida del Sol, that from the ladder at TLC was an amazing moment. And they had that. They had the OBG, had him win the Slammy, and have him win the championship, making him feel relevant. And then this SmackDown, they just said, we don't want you to be relevant anymore. We don't want Kalisto to be relevant anymore. And that is the reason why WWE is at its position right now. You're handicapping people who are trying to get connections to the crowd. And soon they're going to be like, well, why should I matter? Why do I cheer or boo this person when at the end of the day they're not going to be, we're not going to have any meaningful matches or meaningful things happen to the characters. People say things like the Attitude Era of the 80s in wrestling. The reason why people cared is that they actually had something tangible to them. People who they liked had some miserable success. People who they liked actually won, hated, or whatever, had their time in the sun. They had their, they're just desserts. Now, nothing seems to go. And when I look at the old stuff from WCW on the network, when I look at all the old stuff from the wrestling stuff, it seems like they get it. And I don't want the I look at the old WWF stuff. I look at there, when you include some attitude, and sure, it's a little bit grimy and such, and it looks just so badly, just like they're trying so hard to be this gritty type stuff, and it's not really good and watchable today, like other than like say WCW Nitro is. Seriously, watch some when you have the network, watch WCW Nitro. It's still watchable today, even if it's a bit cheesy. But yeah, the production is so much better, and it's still I still love the production values from WCW Nitro. It still is. It fits perfectly. It still works there and such. But back to my main point. But in the Attitude Era, it had characters. It had people you could connect to. That is what people want. They want someone to connect to. They want people to say, this guy. And by the way, here's something I wish the WWE should do is actually have the people who win, they have a long-standing victory. They don't have like the sword of Damocles around them. It started with the Vince McMahon. No, it didn't stop there. It started with Bischoff and the NWO. They started it as the evil boss. Then WWF said, "Oh, we could do it better and have Vince Kennedy McMahon after the whole screw job." They had Vince turn into a heel. They have him turn into a heel evil boss. And the storylines continue to this very day. This every single time from all of the evil regimes from Kevin Nash to WCW to all the corrupt general managers from WWE, Vince Russo from WCW as well, and TNA, including TNA. You had, oh gosh, Dixie Carter. Remember the reign of Madam Dixie? Oh, that was fun. But again, it takes and I am always talking about this, and it all just wraps up into a bow, and hopefully it makes sense other than my mad ramblings. This notion that these authority figures take up so much time in this airspace, that just takes so much time, to a point that they are so important that the wrestlers are the afterthoughts. They are the second bananas. They are unless you are chosen upon high to feud with the evil boss, who is not a wrestler or a retired wrestler, which is, again, makes no sense. By the way, I love how they try to prick Sting into this great wrestler, even when they completely and utterly screwed him over last year. The whole treatment of Sting, which was a complete and utter embarrassment and just so goddamn petty. It is. It shows how petty the WWE really is. But it's the way they treat their superstars. You see how Rusev love a stupid, idiotic love triangle. You see it when they have, Seth Rollins look like a complete fool majority of the time. You see it with Seth Rollins, who won the United States Championship only to lose it a month later. You see that all the time, and it's rendered meaningless because these guys are not really the stars of the show. They're not really the main part of the show. The wrestlers are secondary. The real stars of the show are the authority figures. They are the one. That's why they go do these 20, 30-minute little promos down to the ring and have the same promos from everything. Vince McMahon or Stephanie McMahon or whoever. It just continues on. And I just love the fact that ratings continue to go down because of this. And USA Network still wants more McMahons. They want more Vince. They want that. They love it. They love it. They love it. This is the reason why most kids don't really care about the bad guys win. Like I said in my video and such, when the bad guys continuously win, when the bad guy is just so damn powerful. And again, would you want to make a superhero show where you have, like, say, Superman versus Lex Luthor, and you make Lex Luthor win, saying at the end of the day, what Superman does is meaningless, and he has small victories, and you have small victories and nothing, no real tangible, and the ones they do have tangible, it doesn't last long because it's right back to the evil status quo, right there to the status quo. And that's why it just feels like, again, why you can't have people to root for. It makes the low card even more pointless. And again, it doesn't matter if, say, Kalisto wins his title back, which or you have people from social outcasts get over. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, they are not the main story. They're not even relevant to the main story. They're filler. Kalisto's filler. Social outcasts are filler. People in the mid-card, filler. Heck, I would say some people, like, honestly, it gets to a point where the main champion was filler. Hell, Seth Rollins was filler. And that's what the evil boss or authority figures do. They make the wrestlers filler. On their own show where wrestling is supposed to be the main product. It's supposed to be. Instead, again, they're filler, and no one seems to matter. And that is why ratings have gone down. That is why people have stopped caring. That is why people just stop watching. Period. I honestly think the USA just wants to drive the rating down so low they can actually get Raw for the cheap. Maybe that's it. Maybe they know ratings are going down and ratings getting beaten down. I say, well, we can get in the next TV deal. Like, we can make this thing cheaper. I don't know. Maybe that's my craziness. Thank you all for letting me rant here. If you want to say any positive, negative things, comment below, all that crazy stuff, because this thing is recorded and brought to you on YouTube, screwattack.com, zipcast.com, freakingawesomenetwork.com, and magicexpression.com, Sescast Studios, video forums, and the That Guy with Glasses forum, video forum as well. Man, I have a lot of stuff to put. And the escapist.com forums. Everywhere and anywhere, if I could put this up and share it with the world, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me and letting me talk to you, the people. Because you guys are the main reason. And you guys make the world go round. No matter what everyone tells you, you make the world go round. Well, that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's short, but I had to get that piece out there. I had to get it out there. Show next week, I'll probably talk more. Maybe I'll get some more gaming news in there, because, I haven't talked much gaming for a while, so I'm going to probably talk about that. So, I'll probably a little more about gaming next week. Anyway, it's Dukect here. Peace, love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.